All right, can y'all hear me well? Yeah. Kind of loud? My bad. Okay, so this summer, I got the opportunity to intern under Adam. I didn't plan on doing this at all, actually. I stayed, after church kind of late one night. Well, my mama probably wanted me home because I probably had school the next day. And Adam asked me about interning. And to be honest, he did a lot for me, and I really just didn't want to tell him no. I didn't really know what to expect with the internship or where it would go. But as growing in my faith, I kind of felt like it was time to start listening to God and start doing what he wanted me to do. So I said yes. And over the course of the internship, I've learned a lot and I've grown a lot. And I've been given the opportunity to come speak to y'all tonight about my story and my walk with Christ. So to start off my message, we're going to go to 1 John chapter 2, verses 15 and 16. Give y'all some time to get there. All right. The verse says, "Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the desires of the flesh and the desires of the eyes and the pride of life, is not from the Father, but it's from the world." So I came across this verse when I was planning on what I was going to talk to you all about today. And it kind of made me think about how, as kids, we kind of tend to go to the world when we're facing issues or adversity instead of the Father. And as most of us are going to college, or we're entering high school, or even the senior years of high school, or we're bound to face adversity or trials that we may feel like is super tough. And instead of turning to the Bible, we always turn to things that aren't the Bible, obviously. So I just want to get a little interactive with y'all. When y'all are sad, or y'all need to decompress, or y'all just feel like y'all going through some things, who tends to listen to music? Music. I do the same. Who chooses to watch TV? Binge watch Grey's Anatomy, something like that, I don't know. Who chooses to watch sports or go play their sport? A lot of athletes in here. All right. For the girls, who likes to go shopping all day knowing y'all aren't going to buy anything? All right. Well, I kind of dealt with these things as a younger kid, and for me, my thing was football. That's what I wanted to do. That was my escape, and that's how I kind of dealt with my issues because I had no relationship with Jesus. And I'm here to talk to y'all tonight about my testimony and how I grew out of that. So basically, I didn't really grow up in the church. I wasn't going to church every Sunday. You hear the southern beliefs of God is good, God is great. If you say he's your savior, you're going to heaven. If you don't, you're going to hell. As a kid, I don't want to go to hell, so yay, God is good, you know? And that's kind of how it was. When I was younger, my dad, he would try to take us to church, me and my little brother right there. But we wasn't messing with it. We would go to church. We were going straight to sleep. I'm on his shoulder, and I had the little bill cut then. I ain't had dreads. So every time I went to sleep, he was just slapping my head. And that's how I kind of got through the service. And that was just my only experience with the church for real. And that's how it kind of continued for a while. And then I kind of faced some troubles in my life. In March 3rd, 2017, my father had a surgery to remove a hernia. It was supposed to be a simple surgery. And long story short, the surgery was botched. And on March 4th, 2017, my father passed. And it was 3 days before my 10th birthday. And it was kind of hard even coping. Going to sleep that night knowing he was in the hospital, I kind of felt this sense of emptiness. I just felt like something was wrong because my dad was my person. And it was just kind of hard to even go to sleep knowing that what I didn't want to wake up to was what I was going to wake up to. And hearing that news, it was very hard. It was just something that a 9-year-old shouldn't have to deal with. Not even 9-year-old, anybody should have to deal with when it's supposed to be something as common as a hernia surgery. And pretty much after that, my beliefs in the church and everything just kind of disappeared because, if God is so good and if God is so great, why is this my story, you know? Why do I have to grow up without a father? Why do my siblings have to grow up without a father? Why does my mom have to lose her husband? Why does she have to be left with 4 kids at a very young age? And it just kind of built like this sense of anger or rage in my heart because I just feel like it wasn't fair. Like, why was I dealt the bad hand out of everybody, you know? And that just kind of continued. It's almost like I held a grudge against God. So I never gave God a fair opportunity to actually work in my life because, like I said, if God is so good, why is this my life? So that just continued for a while. Just the rage would just always build up and build up. I couldn't really talk to nobody about it because even though people reached out, it's like, how can someone who is not me and not from my background try to tell me how to deal with my pain? How can someone who's not living my story try to deal with my pain? I had nice friends, and they was cool and all, but they weren't living my story. So how can they tell me, hey, Cle, you're going to be good? I mean, how am I going to be good? I'm going home. I'm not seeing my dad when I go home. What is good about that? And I was just always angry. And since I wasn't talking to nobody and I wasn't filtering that anger out, the only thing that really made me feel better was playing football. Because me and my dad, we were big football fans. He was an Alabama fan and a Ravens fan. And in 2012, when I was 5 years old, the first football game I watched was Alabama slaughter Notre Dame in the championship game. Then the next month, I was able to watch the Ravens and Ray Lewis farewell tour as they beat the 49ers. So I just was big on football, and that's where I felt like me and my dad had the most in common. So I kept playing, even though I didn't want to play because of his absence. I feel like that's the only way I could truly connect and just still feel that piece of him inside of me. So I played football, and it really, I kind of felt like even though I felt like hollow on the inside, I was able to project that I was okay and I was doing good. Because on the football field, like what was going on at home didn't matter. Like my situation didn't matter. It was just I was good at football. I scored touchdowns, and everybody liked me because of it. But fast forward a couple years, as I get into high school, I had really bad Oscar Slaughter, or what people call jumper's knee. Yeah, it's bad. But after dealing with it for a while, it ended up getting really bad, and my tendon snatched, and a piece of bone came off with it, and I was in like a full leg cast from like here to here. And I had to sit down, and there was no football being played, like, at all. And during this time, it was eating me up, because I was like, dang, like, that's what I do. Like, I just play football. It wasn't no playing the game, because the folks I played the game with, they was playing football. So I was just sitting at home and just making all A's, really, because I couldn't do nothing but school. And at that time, I was kind of depressed, but I had some really good friends, Michael Bigelow, and Kelby Walker, Flynn, Cam, Trayshawn. And I was invited to a Bible study by Micah. And when Micah came to talk to me about it, he had like this just excitement about him in his voice. And he was just really happy to be able to invite me. And I didn't know why, because in my head, I'm like, I mean, God's not that exciting. Like, why do I care about going to his Bible study? But Micah was just a really genuine guy. And just the excitement he had talking about it, I just decided I wanted to go try it out at least one time just because he liked me enough to even invite me to his house, and I just wanted to show my appreciation. So we went, and we started off in this book called How to Be a Man. And in this book, it wasn't literally like, oh, to be a man, you have to do this, do that. It was just like the traits that most men should try to have, and it had incorporated Bible verses into it to like try to work on these traits. And after going here for a while, like the first couple of times they were talking, had discussions, I wouldn't talk. I fell asleep on the couch a couple times because, I mean, we was getting up at like 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and I sleep at like 11 to 12 every day, so it just wasn't like my style, my speed. But eventually, we started talking about it more, and I started to just kind of slowly feel convicted of some of the things that we would read, and it was kind of weird because I never had, like, some of the stuff that, like, I never knew was a sin, like, listening to music with cuss words is a sin. I'm like, huh? I don't listen to music without cuss words. Like, how is that a sin? Or I guess snapping at your parents is a sin, like not being respectful. And it's all the small things that you just don't, you know it's wrong, but you just don't know it's a sin. They kind of just ate at me. And eventually I started like to get in the Bible and started to read more. And I started to like slowly grow in my faith, but it was just like slowly on track. Like it was like It was slow. But eventually I ended up healing from my fractured tibia. And I got back to football. I was doing well. I was kind of starting back to get to myself. And I ended up hurting myself in a scrimmage at practice. And when I hurt myself, I thought it was something minor. I didn't know it was major at all. And I was able to walk off the field. My mom she picked me up. She was just shaking her head because she hates to see me hurt. It just like burns her heart. She'd probably be more hurt than I'd be because she's like essentially my nurse when I'm hurt. So my mom picks me up. I go home. I ice it because I think I'm good. I wake up in the morning and I cannot walk. So I'm on crutches. I'm hobbling around. Mr. Josh was like, "You still coming to Bible study?" I was scared to tell him no, so I still went. And when I got there, I think Kelby and Micah, they had to like get me off the crutches and carry me into the house because I couldn't walk. And as we were in the house, we were talking about this church camp in Oklahoma called Falls Creek. And they was talking about going to Falls Creek and when it was, and we got the dates. And a couple of us was looking at each other, we was like, hold on. Ain't no way, this is the same date to 707 at Troy. Ain't no way I'm going. So I think one of my friends is in the building, me and him was like, nah, we ain't going. And then the other ones was like, yeah, we are going to go. So it was kind of like this division in the room. And I was asked a question. I was like, so now you're growing in I was basically asked, like, since you're growing in your faith now, do you think it's okay to choose the world over your relationship with God? And then me, like football kind of always was my thing. I was like, I'm sorry, but I got to choose football. I was being dumb. So I go to the doctor. This was like Saturday, so I go to the doctor the following Tuesday to get my knee checked out after it got really swole, and I couldn't really do anything on it just to get like an opinion. And the doctor came in the room, and he literally grabbed my knee and like twisted it like this, and I just got to screaming. And I'm like, what is that? Like, I'm smiling because I'm like, why does it hurt so bad? But like, I'm just trying to like play it off or whatever. And he's like, yeah, you tore your ACL. And when he said that, I'm like, huh? Like Adrian Peterson ACL? Like 2012 Adrian Peterson ACL? So I heard that, and I'm like, I know ACL, that come with 8 months of rehab. So I know I'm finna miss my sophomore season too, and I just get the boo-hoo crying. Like, I'm in there crying for so long. My mom trying to get me to stop crying. I'm still not, like, I still haven't stopped crying. And I went to go get the MRI, like, the same day. And, like, people that know me, they know I love shoes. Like, I probably have 40 pairs. Like, I buy shoes probably every other weekend. And it was these specific shoes, they were like called the military black fours. I remember, like, vividly. And my mom was like, she was, like, trying to make me feel better. She was like, you want me to buy you these shoes? And I remember I looked and I was like, well, I can't wear them, so like, why would you buy them? Like, I was just upset. And looking back on it, if I can go back in time, I would have definitely got those shoes because they selling for like $500 or something like that. So I would have got the shoes if I can go back in time, but I was just so mad, I couldn't even think about the shoes. So then I had to wait, I think, 3 weeks to have my surgery. Because ACL dates is like, you just got to get in when you can get in. So during this time, I'm playing the game a little bit because we just got out of school, so my friends, they haven't started football yet. So we're still like able to play the game for a little bit. But then they're finna get ready to start football, and I ain't got nothing to do. So I just started watching Stranger Things. I'm just sitting in my room all day watching Stranger Things. Then I end up having my surgery on, I think, June 1st. And it was the worst pain ever. Like, for like a month straight, I did not sleep. Like, I would like take like 2-3 hour naps during the day, but at nighttime, I was up just playing the game. And then after a while, like when your friends, like you sleeping during the day while your friends at practice, and then like say you get on the game at night, they get off at 11 for football practice. At night, I'm just up by myself just thinking. Like, I just got time to do nothing. And it wasn't like no good thoughts going on my head. It was just like depression and sadness because it was just like hard having to deal with the physical pain. Then like mentally, I'm just kind of like, dang, like I can't play football. I'm upset emotionally because I don't really know how to express myself, but I just know I'm upset. And then spiritually, I wasn't where I was again. I wasn't where I needed to be because I was just like, why me? Like, why am I always dealt the bad hand, you know? Like, why can I be on like the good, like, why can I get a good hand? Why can't I get like 3+4s and Uno or something like that? So I mean, as school starts and I start like kind of just being around the team, I'm watching some of my friends succeed, have good seasons. My younger guys, they were sophomores, Kelby and Jashawn at the time. Mike, I'm sorry, like y'all were sophomores at the time though. Mike had a really good junior season, so I was just able to see my friends have a really good season, and it made me happy. But at the same time, I was sad because I was like, dang, I want to play too. So I finally decided I'm gonna just give Jesus like a chance. Like I'm gonna give him a fair shot, and I'm gonna let him try to work out my life and see where it takes me. So I dive into my Bible. I start reading John, James, Ephesians, Romans, Proverbs. And I'm sending Mr. Josh 2-3 chapters a day, and I'm just flooding his phone. He's probably tired of me at the point, but I just stayed in the Bible, and I felt like I was growing as a person, as a sibling, like as a son. Like I just feel like I was becoming a better person. I was doing well in school, so I was becoming happy, but I just still couldn't play football. So I mean, it was still hard, but I came across a verse in, I think it was James, chapter 1, verses 2-4. And I read a voice and it said, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." So when I read this, like I used to read like the same chapters probably 2 times, like a week or something like that, just to make sure I wasn't just reading and forgetting. Or like you trying almost like you cramming for a test. You don't want to just like take in the information and then forget it right after you get done reading it. So I would go over and I just kind of broke it down and was like, what exactly is this verse saying? And I just kind of took it as like, I just need to kind of stop feeling sorry for myself whenever something's not going my way. Because like the crying and the feeling sorry for myself, like it wasn't doing anything. Like my situation didn't change. Everything. When I went to sleep and woke up, it still was the same. I still had a bum knee. So I still couldn't play football. So I just was kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to use this as an opportunity to grow in my faith and become a better person, and we'll see where it takes me. And it went pretty well. I finally got clear. I finally got back to football, got back to lifting, and I was able to have a whole summer. And I was approaching my junior season. And I think I was on the field one day, getting some field work, and I was like covering, and my shoulder like snapped out of place as I was trying to deflect the ball. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. And I think it was the day of Jashawn's birthday, because we had to go to his dinner after. And I did not tell my mom. I did not tell her. And she used to always tell me, whenever you get hurt, tell me so I know. I did not tell her, because I just didn't want to hear, "You always doing this, you don't want to tell me this, that." Like, I didn't want to hear it. So I didn't tell her. I popped like a couple of Cedrons, ibuprofen, wherever it was. I went to the dinner. I woke up, and my shoulder was like throbbing, like I couldn't move it. But after icing for 2-3 days, I was good, and I just ain't tell her. So I go through the summer. I finally get the fall camp of my junior year. And as I'm playing, I'm doing well, but I just kind of feel myself. I just came off the ACL injury, and I didn't know it at the time, but I had already torn my labrum, and I was just kind of playing with it. So then I finally go into my junior season. I have a decent season. It wasn't like what I wanted it to be, but I had the film. I did everything. I had the grades. So like I produced enough to like get looks and everything, but I had to have surgery on my shoulder. And going into my senior year of high school, I had looks from different schools, and I thought I was going to have a really big summer. And I was going to have the opportunity to like actually make a name for myself and be where I wanted to be. And it didn't work like that. I went to a camp in South Alabama as a prospect camp. And at the prospect camps, it's basically just a lot of dudes with like really big egos just trying to embarrass each other. So we out there, probably 80% of the kids who are at the camp probably should have saved their mom's money. They just weren't any good. So we're there, and we got guys running back, trying to run wheel route every play, trying to run angle routes like it's Madden, and it just wasn't good. So I lined up against this one kid. He wasn't a guy. He was just a dude that probably should have saved his mom money. And he ran like a wheel route, And I'm like on top of the route, and I'm trying to go pick the ball off, and I feel like I just got like sniped in my hamstring. And it popped, and I'm screaming, and everybody was like, ooh, and they ended the count. So I'm hurt, because I'm like having a good count. I think I ran like a 4.61 at the count. And I'm like, man, I may probably do something. And I didn't do nothing, because I had to sit and watch. And so I had to sit for like 2 weeks. So after I missed the Troy 707 my sophomore year, my junior year the 707, I missed it again because I made sure to choose that church camp over that football camp, because I was like, this not finna happen again. So I didn't go to Troy 707 my junior year, and my senior year, I popped my hamstring. So I didn't go to Troy 707 either year. So 2 weeks after the Troy 707, it's the UAB 707. My mom told me to wait one more week, but I know everything, so I did not wait one more week. The day before the 707, I go back to practice early, and I popped my hamstring again. So now I'm scared to go tell my mom now, because she told me to wait. And I'm like, Mom, I'm stretching, I'm at therapy, I'm doing good. The coach said I'm looking straight, like I'm gonna go get me an offer, blah, blah, blah. You know, the NFL dreams or the college dreams, whatever. And it didn't happen, so I had to go tell Mom I hurt again. And she just looking at me, and she got to the point where she just stopped saying something to me, because she just knew that I wasn't going to listen, and she was wasting her breath, and it was just bad. So then I sit out for like 3 weeks this time, and I don't come back until we have a North Alabama camp. They came down from Florence, and we had a camp at our field. At this camp, the first event, we did like a combine test, and we got our height, wingspan, weight. We did like broad jump, and we ran 40s. And it's time to run 40s. I done stretched out pretty good. I'm ready to try to run. And I get in my stance, and I get out pretty fast. And I feel like I'm finna run a pretty good time. I feel like I'm moving, like Usain Bolt or something like that. So I'm moving. And next thing you know, I get sniped in my hamstring again. I don't know how he kept hitting me in my hamstring, but I got sniped again. So this time it was bad. Like I couldn't even I'm hopping off the field. I don't even tell my mom that I got hurt again until I got home, because she was working from home. So I just walked in, and she was like, what are you doing? And I just shook my head. And I just laid on the floor, pouting for a little bit. And she finally came and checked on me, and I told her what happened. And she was just shaking her head and just telling me it was going to be all right and I was going to get better. So I sat out for about a month after that, went into fall camp my senior year. And I was super out of shape. Like, I'm saying, if I run about 3 gassers, I'm huffing and puffing. I was just not in football shape, but I'm still a guy. Like, I can play football. So I go play. During the fall, we have a scrimmage. I'm playing a new position. I'm playing safety. I get a couple picks. So I think I'm going to have a great year. We go into my senior season, and nobody throws the ball. I think the first 3 games, the teams were like 80% run, and we had really good defensive games, but we weren't winning any games. We were like 1-2 off the rip. So it was still bad. All the looks that I kind of had, they weren't really there, because I was no longer playing linebacker. I was playing a whole new position, and I wasn't producing any numbers, and I didn't have any new film. But man, I kept playing, I kept sticking it through, and as I'm playing, and I'm thinking maybe, we play Pike Road. They have a lot of big time guys. So we have some big time guys. So I know the eye's gonna be there. And we go play Pike Road, and I come down and I lay a hit on the guy. And next thing you know, I wake up on the sideline, and I'm like, my mom's in my face, the trainer's in my face, my coach is in my face, and I just got dudes giving me hugs, talking about I love you, bro, love you, buddy, tapping my head. I'm like, what are y'all doing? What's going on? So I had to go back and watch the play. I was laid out on the field like snowman or something, but on my face. And I was out for 3 minutes just cold. And which I didn't know, because my mom, I would thought she'd have been crying or something like that, but she be trying not to show emotion, so I'm not scared. So she was just sitting there you good? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, okay. That was it. So I go watch the video, and I'm like, oh. And I was like, well, did he catch it? Yeah, he called it Cle. Oh. So I'm out for no reason. So after Pike Road, I missed the rest of that game. Then I missed 2 more games because of concussion. Then I finally come back against Percy Julian to play. And I'm hyped. I done watched probably more film than I didn't ever watch. I'm ready to make some plays. And I did. I got a lot of film from that game, actually. I had a really good game. But I tore my right labrum this time. So I done had 3 surgeries already. And now I done tore my right labrum. So after the season, like, I'm going to be working on my 4th surgery. But I tore my right labrum. My shoulder is cooked. Like, I can't put my shirt on. Like, my mom had to help me put my shirt on. Like, it was bad. Then I think I missed Sunday practice, and my coach made me flip tires on the torn labrum because I missed Sunday practice. So my shoulder is definitely cooked after this. But I think I still go into our senior night game to go play. And I pretty much knew I wasn't going to do anything for real because I really didn't want to touch nobody with my arm because it was so bad. But I think, like, the second possession of the game, I get a scoop and score a touchdown. We were up, like, 14 points. After that, I did not want to play anymore. We were up. I got my first high school touchdown. I'm ready to go home at this point. I knew we weren't finna lose, so I was just kind of over it. But I kept playing throughout the game, kept messing up the shoulder, kept getting worse. And, yeah, it was just that. So after this game, we were on the last game of the season against Demopolis, and I definitely didn't want to play. My stomach was hurting. The bathrooms was terrible. It was super humid. The grass was super thick. I mean, they were a 5A school, so it didn't determine our playoffs. Like, we knew who we were going to play, like, next round. So I definitely didn't want to be there. And I was warming up. I just kind of felt, like, stiff and sluggish. My shoulder wasn't feeling good. So I'm just ready to get this over with. And I think the very first possession of the game, or the second possession of the game, I end up making a tackle, and my shoulder, like, comes out. But, like, it's, like, on the back. Like, it's all the way out of the socket on the back. And my trainer is trying to yank my shoulder into socket. He can't do it. My coach talking about, we need you to be tough. And I'm like, bro, like, just leave me alone. Like, I'm not going back in this game. The shoulder, like, it's done. So I got to rush to the hospital so the hospital can put my shoulder back in place. I'm in the room, like, waiting for them to get my shoulder right. And they bringing this one dude in the room, and he's cooked. Like, he's just there, like, not responding to anything. And I'm like, I'm complaining about my shoulder, and he not breathing. I'm like, what's going on? Then they finally get him good. So I'm like, okay, well, y'all got him good. I can get this shoulder right now. And they were just kept moving slow. My mom getting irritated. The dude trying to be all cool. I kind of think he was flirting with my mama a little bit, but he was like, man, just be patient with us for a little while. We gonna get it. He talking all slow and junk and moving his hands. And I'm like, bro, like, let's go. So they finally put me they had to put me to sleep to get my shoulder back in. I wake up, my mama take me home, I get showered and everything. She come check on me, see if I'm asleep. I'm on the game playing 2K. Because I was like, man, if I can't play football, I'm going to play something. And we was winning too, so it was straight. But then, that was the last game of my senior season because, like, we had playoffs next week. There was no way I was going to play in the game. Go to the playoff game, we lose by 1. In my last high school game, we lose by 1. Freshman kicker, freshman holder, freshman snapper, and touchdown call back. The kick didn't make it off the ground, so we lost. And that's when I thought the football dreams was over with. My mom was asking me how I feel. I really wasn't tripping for real, because, I mean, I had the grades, I had the ACT, so I'm finna go to college somewhere, and I'm gonna be straight. But then, like, to my surprise, a couple offers came to rolling in. And it kind of made it to where I had a really tough decision to make in terms of, like, where I was going to college and where, like, I was going to, like, go into my future or whatever. It wasn't opportunities that I wanted. So I was just kind of, like, upset when I seen guys. I was, like, getting offers from these certain schools. And I'm like, bro, he was, like, we played him last. Like, he was bad. Like, how is he getting an offer from here and I'm going here? Like, that don't make no sense. But I guess I was just trying to appreciate the situation I was in. I wasn't trying to, like, feel sorry for myself and complain. So I was just still chopping wood, I guess. I was still working on my grades, working out in case the opportunity did come. And I got to the point where I was finna go to Huntington to play football. But then we went, and they was like, sir, so we don't have engineering. So the route you can take, you could take math for 4 years, then you transfer and you could do engineering for 3 years. And me and my mom make side-eyed each other, and we like, huh? So as soon as the coach walked off, she like, you ready to go? I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm with Slim, and he wasn't really liking what he was hearing either, so we all ready to go. So we leave. We like, dang, bro, we just wasted our time. We sat down, chilled for a little bit, and we went to work. And we was like, what we finna do now? I said, hey, trying to go Alabama A&M? He was like, yeah, let's do it. So I'm thinking I'm finna go to the HBCU. And I'm finally thinking, okay, that's where my mom wanted me to go. They had a great engineering program. Scholarship was booming. So that's what I was finna go do. Then I came to church one night, and I was just kind of stuck because I still wanted to play football. I didn't want to let it go. But I just had to make a better financial decision. And as I'm waiting to leave service, somebody comes up and they introduce a verse, and they talk about a verse that kind of hit my heart. And it was basically just kind of talking about leaning on God when you're not sure what you're supposed to do, and just making sure you're in the Bible and stuff. So go home, I pray about it. I go to school, I think 2 days later, and I'm sitting in my history class. I'm obviously not doing no work, because in history, you just sit there, you don't do the work. Test day, you cram, you make a high B, high A. And if you do all your assignments, you get 100s on the daily grades, you're going to have a 91, 92. You cool. So I'm sitting on my phone during class, and I get a text from the Faulkner coach. And I'm like, you know what? They got engineering. I already did the research on the school. They got engineering. Man, the money good. I'm going. So I finally go on to visit. I go on to visit the day before my birthday. And we talked. They showed that they have interest in me. They showed that they want me there. And I finally decided that's where I'm going to go. So it was kind of great because I decided that I was going to commit on my dad's birthday. So after all this time, building this relationship with my dad and him introducing me to the game that I love and just feeling like that was my biggest connection with him, I had the opportunity to commit to play college football on his birthday. So it was a great feeling for me, and it was something I was very proud about, and it's kind of something that I finally felt like I made him proud doing something, which I know I've made him proud in a lot of ways, but just something as direct as that was just big for me. And yeah, so it's basically just a long story. I was fighting with kind of finally giving in to God and choosing that I was gonna let him work through me and seeing where his path was gonna lead me. And I finally trusted in him, and I ended up where I wanted to be in the end. It wasn't necessarily on the terms that I wanted on, or it didn't happen at the pace that I wanted to, but it happened. So one thing, me and my mom always talk about, we talk about opportunities. And pretty much all you got, you just got to pray for an opportunity. If you do what you do, if you do what you need to do and everything works in your favor, that's good, but you just need the opportunity so you can do that. So I got the opportunity, and I was just extremely thankful for that. She's proud of me. Even though I didn't have the full surgeries, and she had to be nursed for at least probably a month combined with all the rehabs and stuff, she's proud of me, and she's happy where I'm at, and I'm happy where I'm at. So that is my testimony, and that's what I had for y'all. But that's crazy. But as this comes to the end, I want to pray for y'all. So I want to ask all y'all to close your eyes. I just closing your eyes, it just allows you to focus on one thing and trying to block out everything else. It just allows you to just get in a sense of just focus. So I just want to talk to y'all for a little bit. In Matthew 11, verses 28 through 30, it says, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, because I am lowly and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light." So in this verse, it's saying, come to me. So God is calling his children to come. Come to him so that he can work work in you and to not try to be independent and try to figure out everything on yourself. Because if you're independent, you can't do anything with Jesus. Everything is of this world. And even though the things of this world may satisfy you temporarily, in the long run, there's going to be no fulfillment. There's going to be nothing that makes you feel good, like that will last. And you will always come back to that depressive state to where you're feeling sorry for yourself, or you're just kind of in the mindset of why me, you know? And that's why I titled this lesson, Why Not Me? Because why lean on the things of the world? Why lean on shopping or music or sports? Why do that when you can lean on God and you can invest time in reading the Bible and invest time in coming to church and actually growing a relationship that will last? Not with a person, you know what I'm saying? Not with anything materialistic, nothing like that. So if you feel like you're ready to let go of things of the world and you're going to finally give God a fair chance after kind of holding a grudge against him or kind of having this anger towards him or this like bitterness towards him, I want to like allow y'all to come to the altar or invite y'all to the altar. Because here at Vessel, coming to the altar, it's not something that you just have to do or that makes you more holy than the person that doesn't come to the altar. But coming to the altar is just a physical, it's almost like baptism in a way. You're just showing others that you're newly born. And coming to the altar is just showing that you're submitting your problems to God. So if you feel like you're in that situation, I just want to invite you guys to the altar. If not, that's fine. Maybe tonight's not your night, and maybe you work through some other day. And if that is a thing, that's perfectly fine. Don't feel pressure, don't feel forced. But that's just something I wanted to invite y'all to do. But I'm going to close this out with prayer. Dear Father, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for allowing me to speak to my peers, in front of my families, in front of my loved ones, in front of these people who invested a lot of time in me. My journey has been a rough one and a long one. And I'm sure a lot of other people in here can say the same thing. But those rough journeys, those long journeys don't have to remain that way if we just choose to trust in you and choose you. So I just want to thank you for planting seeds in my lives, or I just want to ask that you plant seeds in these people's lives that will allow them to grow towards you and have a true life change. In your son's name we pray, amen.